Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Great Western Trail. In the first video, I talked you through the movement and how the herds work in Great Western Trail. Now I need to get into the iconography and the other smaller minutiae of the rules that get a little bit more tricky, but you really do need to understand them to be able to play the game, or at least to be able to play the game really well. So let's start with the trail at the bottom of the board. This tile, wherever you have a picture of a card, you're looking at the colour, and that red arrow means that you take the card out of your hand and put it in the discard pile. You'll usually get 2 coins in return for doing that action. That's how you cull your herd. When there's a green arrow, that means that you're adding something into your hand or your tableau. In this case, it's adding to the tableau. This is talking about the employees, which are these guys up here. Anything that's up here is available to be purchased. Now, if you look really closely, you'll notice there are 2 available spots to be able to purchase employees. The first employee will cost what is marked next to it. The next one will cost 2 extra coins. On these cards, wherever there's a negative sign, it means that you're spending money. If there's no negative sign, it means you're gaining money. So the cost of the employees on this line is 6 coins, as with this line, and as you go down, the cost will change. If you hire one for 6 coins and then want to hire another one, it's going to cost you 8 coins because of that extra 2 coin cost for a second employee. When you employ them, you will add them to your own player board. Everyone starts with one of each type of worker, and that will help you do various things as we go through. I'll get to what they do as we hit the icon that refers to them. So once again, we've got that icon for getting rid of a green cow, this time for 2 coins. The right-hand icon here is about building buildings. Now what this means, everyone has their own set of buildings. All buildings should be identical, so everyone has the same buildings to choose from. In the top left corner of each building is a number and a guy. What that is referring to is the number of craftsmen that you have. So if I only have 1 craftsman, I'm only able to get the buildings that have that number 1 in the top left corner. If I have 2 craftsmen, I am able to build this building because the number 2 in the top corner, but I'm not able to build any further than that. However, what I can do, if I had already built a number 1 and I've got 2 craftsmen, I'm able to take this particular building, which needs 3 craftsmen, and put it over the top of, or replace, a previously placed building. So this one had 1 craftsman, 1 plus the 2 that I actually have, it allows me to build a 3. Now the cost of building these buildings is listed here in the icon. For every craftsman you're using, it's 2 coins. If it's a single craftsman building, that'll cost you 2 coins to build. A double craftsman building will cost you 4 coins to build. If you're building a 3 craftsman building over the top of a 1 craftsman building, once again, it will cost you 4 coins to build because you're using 2 more craftsmen. The next tile, anywhere you see this cube with an arrow down, that's talking about certificates. So you get to move your certificate down 1 more on the track. Whatever you don't use once you get up to Kansas City will stay there for future turns. So it's possible to just get 1 first turn round, another one next turn round, a 3rd one on the 3rd turn round before you use any. So you have an option of either doing that or taking one of the bonus cards or endgame scoring cards. That's the guys over on this side, and they tell you what you need to have by the end of the game. So this particular card says you need a green and a blue TP to be removed from the board to come into your own tableau, plus you need to have built at least 1 building. Now each thing that you're putting towards these endgame bonus cards, you can only put towards 1 card. So if you've got 3 TPs, you can use 2 of them to claim this, but then if you have another endgame bonus card that needs 2 TPs, you're only going to be able to put the 3rd TP towards it, so you can't count them twice. And the other thing to notice is there's a bonus that you get straight away, an immediate bonus. For taking this card, you'll get 2 coins, and each of those cards have slightly different bonuses on them. The other thing you can do at this tile is move your train forward. So you move your train forward 1 spot for every engineer that you have. I have 1 engineer here at the moment, which means I would move my train 1 spot. If I had happened to have hired my second engineer, noticing when I hire him, there is a bonus if I can get rid of one of these cows, I get to move my certificate down. So I take that out of my hand, put in the discard pile, move that down whenever I place that. If I can't get rid of that card, I can't take the benefit. So I've got 2 engineers. That would mean that I'd be able to move my train forward 2 spots instead of 1. If I'm here and I'm moving forward, you can't have 2 trains on the same spot. So 1 for the white train would be to there. Now, while I'm on the trains, if he had a 2 movement, he could choose to go in here to the station and build the station. There's a cost on it, but there's points, and there's an immediate benefit and an end game bonus. I don't want to go into those in this particular video, just simply because there's a little bit too much information there, and you don't need it to start the game. Just let that information come out as people get towards putting their trains in there. But when you do that, you can once again remove one of your tokens to show that you've owned that and you've released something else on your own player board when you do that. And then you take that tile and put it with your stuff. This next tile allows you to choose between spending 2 coins to move the train forward 2 spots, just like the bit I just did, except you pay for it, or you get to take one of the TPs. So this is basically trading with the Indians. If you have a look at where the TPs are at the moment, the blue one here will cost you 1 coin to take, as this one will cost you 2 coins and the green one will cost you 3 coins. When more TPs get added as they come out of the top line, they will start coming down and building up along this trail. If I was to take this one, I would also take or gain 1 coin. The other half of this tile is telling you to do an action from on your own player board. So you have the choice of, at the moment, or at the start of the game, you only have take a coin, or you can draw 1 more card out of your draw deck, have a look at it, and then discard one of the cards. It doesn't have to be this one, it doesn't have to be a different one, but discard one of the cards back into your discard pile. So I already have a lot of jerseys, so I won't get rid of that one. So that's the same if you happen to stop on one of the hazard tiles, or if you stop on another player's tile, you'll do the same thing as that. This tile, once again, you get the chance to get rid of a cow for 2 coins. In this case, it's the Black Angus. And then this little bullhead symbol is talking about the cow yard. This is where you get to go and purchase cows. Now, the number of cowboys that you have, that's this guy up here, will tell you what you're able to purchase and for how much. So if you only have 1 cowboy, you're only able to purchase one of these 3 cards, the yellow, red, or blue, for 6 coins. If you have 2 cowboys, however, you can purchase one of these guys for 3 coins. But if you have 3 cowboys, you can buy 2 of them for 5 coins. And as you head up 1 cowboy, you're going to pay 12 coins for one of the brown cows, or the level 4 cows. If you have 3, it'll only cost you 6. And on these purple cows, the level 5 cows, you need 2 cowboys before you're able to get one, and it'll cost you 12. But if you can get 4 cowboys, it'll only cost you 6 coins. So obviously, the more cowboys you have, the better your chances of getting the good cows. On this tile, you're able to discard 2 of the same type of cow to get 4 coins. And this is where you can spend 7 coins to be able to pick up one of those hazards. So if you have an endgame bonus that needs a hazard card, you can spend your 7 to take that one off the board and put it in your own player area. The other reason you might do that is if you've got one of your own tiles laid there and you want to clear the track so you don't have to pay the tax every time you come through a hazard space, or if other players are going to tax you when you go that way, it's worthwhile clearing hazards as well. And then the last tile uses icons we've seen before, so move your train forward for the engineers and then do your own player board. Once you get to the top, to Kansas City, you'll run through the 5 actions, and what they are is taking one of the 2 choices on the level 1. So I might choose that TP, and that would move down onto the TP spot. You choose one of the 2 workers available on the number 2, and then you choose one of the tiles available on number 3. Sometimes it's a worker, sometimes it's another one of these. And they always come down into the same line as where this bonus is. When you have to fill up the bonus, you push that down further. Once you pass the yellow, that's when you restock the cow market. Once this gets pushed off the end of the board, that will be the indicator that we're starting the final round. Everyone gets 1 more turn to see how many points they can they can get, so if they're able to get to Kansas City or if they're able to get some more points into their hand before the end of the game. All of the icons that I've just run through appear on the personal player tiles, except for this one, which means that if, so this is the yellow tile, if the yellow player stops here, he'll get 2 coins for every building that he has built that sits over the tree line. So if he builds this here, that's worth 2 points. If he builds his next building there, then when he stops there, he'll get 4 points. But if his next building's there, he'll still only get the 2 points because of this tree line thing. So there's tree lines up on those ones and on these couple down here. And the only other icon on those is this one, which means that you can action this tile and then you move your cowboy another 2 spots further forward. Other than that, those icons are all straightforward and using the same pictures with the same meanings as what we've had on the other tiles as we go through the game. The only other thing to really worry about are the icons on your own player board. So I'll run through them really quickly. So normally this will be covered up, which means you're only able to use one of each, but if you've got both sides uncovered, you can actually action it twice. This is take a coin, so if you've got 2, you'll take 2 coins. This one, you take 1 card or 2 cards into your hand and then discard the same number of cards. On this one, you will pay a coin and move your train backwards 1 spot along that top train line to be able to move your certificate down 1 further spot on this side of the board. On this one, you can spend a coin to move your train forward 1 spot, or obviously if you do it twice. And on this one, you're able to move your train backwards 1 spot to cull one of your cards from the game. So that X there means you actually remove it from the game. You don't put it in the discard pile. This is a really good way to get rid of those low-level cards that aren't going to get you huge points at the end of the game. So you can cycle through and get the higher point cows coming through your hand quicker. When you remove these 2 tokens, you have to remove this token before you remove that one, but when you remove them, they open up more certificates that you're able to get. Notice the brown color, the dark color backing on this spot, those 2 and those 2. They can only be moved when you place a token at one of the brown backed spots. So Albuquerque, El Paso, Sacramento, San Francisco, and then the stations down that side of the board. When you take this token, you'll gain 3 coins straight away. When you take this token, that's worth 3 points, so it's worthwhile grabbing that one near the end of the game. These 2 tokens, to place them, will cost you 5 coins each, but when you place them, they allow you to have 1 more card in your hand over and above the normal 4 card restriction. So by the end of the game, you should be pulling 6 cards into your hand, which will help you get the higher numbers to get to San Francisco. That's pretty much all of the icons in the game. I think I've covered it all. If you've got any comments or suggestions, or you think I've missed something, please comment below. There are a few other little finicky rules which I'm not really worrying about, but you'll pick up as you go through the game, and it's stuff that people will ask about when they have a question anyway, so you can fairly easily look them up in the rulebook. Please subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at The Gamesplainer to see what games I'm playing. If you've got any games that you wish to be gamesplained, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. And until next time, enjoy gaming.